Now the next goal on my Ironman account is doing the Moons of Peril bosses, which are basically the modern version of Barrows bosses. You know, you kill a bunch of bosses, you make your way through the dungeon, you open the chest, and then you grind out a bunch until you get a bunch of armor and weapon sets. But it's modern because the Moons of Peril, I think, just does things a lot better and is a lot more rewarding. Let me explain. The first good thing Moons of Peril will have for me is the actual combat itself. Now, Barrows is very old. It's just a very old piece of content. And for the most part, Barrows, you kind of just put your protection prayer on and you AFK and you let the game do the work. There's not much thinking involved. Moons of Peril bosses, on the other hand, there is quite a few mechanics. It's quite engaging. You're learning a bit about pathing, positioning. You even have to source your own potions and food. It's almost like a mini raid. So it teaches you quite a lot about the game, or at least it gets your feet wet. The second good thing about Moons of Peril is the basic standard loot, which is a loot that you get on average whenever you don't get one of the main gear pieces. And with Barrows, you get a lot of runes. I've enjoyed it. I've got quite a lot of runes, but ultimately runes are something that you can kind of get everywhere. You can even buy runes for raw GP eventually. And yeah, in general, runes are nice to have, but you don't really get that immediate benefit. There's something that you just stack up and you'll gradually use throughout your account. Whereas the exciting thing about the Moons of Peril loot is all these different resources you get that can benefit a wide variety of skills, especially skills that are very important for Ironman. You get a lot of bones and bone shards to train prayer. There's a bunch of different seeds to train farming. There's a bunch of different herbs to train herb lore. You get water orbs for crafting, soft clays for teleport tabs. Even when you're not getting one of the unique gear pieces, it's still just so satisfying just stacking up these resources, and by the time you complete all the armor sets, you're going to walk away with a lot of different levels in very important skilling stats. The third benefit of Moons of Peril is the actual system for the gear. Now, barrows obviously is a struggle. A lot of the time you farm barrows and you just can't get those pieces that you really want. Or sometimes you just keep getting the same piece over and over again. Whereas with Moons of Peril, it has a dupe protection system. How the dupe protection system works is that you always get a unique piece for a particular set until you've completed that set. So there's 3 different bosses, and let's say I roll Blue Moon and I already have the spear and the helmet, then my next piece is guaranteed to either be the chest plate or the tassets. You can eventually start getting dupes once you've completed one of the sets. But what you can do is, and what a lot of people do is, once they've completed one of the bosses, they just stop doing that boss. And in general, that just makes this content quite easy to greenlog, and it shouldn't take me that much time. And the last good thing, I mean, we have to just talk about the gear itself. Our barrows is quite nice. Generally speaking, you're getting tank armor, at least for the melee pieces. And the tank armor doesn't really have offensive stats, so they get replaced quite quickly. There's the cows pieces which are quite nice for range, but range pieces are very competitive and you have a lot of options. Same thing with Arims. Arims is obviously very nice as well, but there are a lot of different mage armors in the game that also give a small amounts of mage damage bonus. Now the perilous moons pieces, on the other hand, they kind of serve as the bridge between the mid game and the late game. But what's special about them is that a lot of these pieces are very much focused on hybrid content. Like the Blue Moon stuff, they have melee bonuses, but they also have magic bonuses. And the Eclipse pieces have range bonuses, but they also have melee bonuses. And then the Blood Moon itself, that one isn't really hybrid focused, but it kind of is. It just gives a lot of very good melee bonuses, but it also has magic defense, making it a very versatile melee set. And one of the main reasons why I'm deciding to do Moons of Peril now is a lot of content you do in the mid game will very much use a lot of these pieces. Stuff like fighting demonic gorillas, tormented demons, that is content that you will be using melee and range. Or instead of carrying a bunch of different sets in your inventory, you can just wear Eclipse. There's also the Blue Moon pieces. What I've been doing Royal Titans recently, and you could just be wearing the Blue Moon pieces, which will cover both your melee and your magic stuff. And then on top of that, it's not just a gap filler for hybrid content. I mean, a lot of the pieces are just very good straight up. And because they give good offensive bonuses compared to most of the barrow sets, these are pieces where you could be using them into the late game. You could be using them in raids. So it's just a great piece of content to grind out. So let's get on with it. Doing the Perilous Moons quest, wish me luck. I should be pretty over leveled for it by now. Okay, second one down. There we go, that's the last one. Dead. Oh, Moons of Peril speed trialist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the cool thing about this quest is that you can actually claim some of the boss awards. So I should be able to claim a lunar chest right now. Oh no, I can't? What? Maybe I have to finish the quest first. Claim your rewards from the chamber to the southeast. Okay, that's how I get my first loot. I think that should be the quest completed. There we go. Perilous Moons completed. That was quite a fun quest. 40,000 slay experience. Almost level 72. Oh, nice. Here we go. Let's see what I got. Nothing. But these water orbs are so juicy and the soft clays. It's quite fun though. It's a nice break from the Royal Titans. I'm gonna keep doing this for a bit. Next chest, we are flying. I also got 2 combat achievements, I believe, and we got nothing again. Under 6 minutes, and then defeat a moon before they start the second special attack. There is so much combat tasks here. It might actually be worth me doing all of them eventually. 5th chest. I might get another combat achievement for this, but are we gonna get anything nice? You know what? The basic loot is just so good. You know what? This phase of Eclipse Moon is like the most fun combat phase I've ever done in RuneScape. Like I believe like you always hit like super hard, and just this like whole parrying mechanic, and I just body. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, you don't get hit. You just deal some super huge damage. It's a beautiful phase. I got another hard combat task, Fortified, where we're going to get this chest. Nothing. That was defeat a moon without consuming any supplies. Yeah, I destroyed him that time. Battle the land. Defeat 30 moon of Peril without leaving the dungeon. Oh, okay, whatever. Not sure if I should just record every single chest or just whenever I get a drop. Oh! And I say that and I get the drop. That is actually an amazing first drop, because that is actually my best in slot melee chestplate. Okay, well, 17 kills in. Blood Moon chestplate got. Nice! Perilous Dancer. If you didn't know, Perilous Dancer is the dodgy one. You have to defeat all the moons in one run, only taking damage from regular attacks. 28 kills. Yes! Blue Fantastic. That's also something that I wanted. So we're pretty much on rate. Apparently it's like 1 in 14, which is very similar to barrows. In case you didn't know, the good thing about these Perilous Moons pieces is that they're very good hybrid pieces. So for example, this is my fighter torso, and you can see here this Blood Moon chest plate has very similar defenses, but instead of -10 magic, you're actually up +40. That is actually very useful. Strength bonus is the same. Maybe more importantly, if we look at the magic set, so this is my Arim set. If you compare it versus the Blue Moon Tacit, so it doesn't have quite as good melee defenses, but what it does have is melee strength bonus, and a perfect use of that is the Royal Titans content. Because the Royal Titans content, I was bringing in like multiple switches. I have like my range build with a Bofa, I have my melee set, but like with a lot of these pieces you can kind of just camp it and reduce the amount of swaps that you need. Now that should be it, unless my ornament kit doesn't count for some reason. Okay, it does. That was back to our roots. That was the defeat all 3 moons with only using the dragon's scimitar. Oh yeah, I should probably show my gear, which I don't think I have. So I'm sure you guys know, perilous moons you actually have to stack defense. So barrows armor, I don't have a barrows legs, but I've got dragon plate skirt. And then for eclipse moon, you have to use stab. Then blood moon, I use slash. And then for blue moon, I switched to my crush glacial to Motley's. Nice! Eclipse moon chestplate 36. That's the range chestplate. Last kill I'm gonna do here. Are we gonna get lucky? No, we didn't. First kill of the day. What are we gonna get? I think I ended up with 42 now. Yeah, 42, and we got nothing. Okay. Blue moon spear. Okay, I don't know how useful this is on my account, but we got another item at least. Yeah, from what I know, blue moon spear, you can basically auto cast like every single spell book, I think, which maybe I can use against the tormented demons, but I think Iron Staff already has auto cast, unless I'm mistaken. And then also I already have the ancient scepter for bursting and slayer, so I'm not sure. I need to do a bit of research into how useful that drop is exactly. Nice! Eclipse Atlatl. I guess since I have the buffer now, it's not going to have that much use. But it's nice to get another unique again. Can't complain. Nice! Blue Moon Helm. We are getting pretty lucky so far. 59 chests. And we got 6 items already. Big loot, big loot. Yes! Perfect call. There we go. I'll actually take that right now. Because I believe if I compare it to my glacial Tomotli, yes, it's got way more strength bonus. It still has good crush bonus as well. What the hell? Is it just better in like every way? Oh, I know it has that special mechanic. There's a special mechanic where it might not always hit, at least the second hit. But yeah, nice. Damn, this is just shredding. Jesus, that weapon absolutely shreds. That is still so satisfying. There we go. Hard task betrayal. That was the final one, which was to kill a moon with its associated weapon drop. So actually, I think this is the first like proper boss that I've cleared every single combat achievement. And let's see if we get a secret chest with that. Oh, and we do. Yes. Eclipse Moon Helm. Nice. So with that, I'm now actually in a good position where I'm missing 1 and 2. So I'm missing a little bit of each. If I can secure one of these blood moon pieces, that means I'll only need 1 of each before I'm done. And I'm kind of missing the good ones. I really want like these tassets and the blue moon chest, but I don't really care too much about blood moon helm. Come on, I have to get something by now. No, I suppose I deserve it though, because I'm still way above the rate. Yes, finally an item right after I started complaining. Eclipse moon tassets. Oh, so we finished eclipse now, so I'm supposed to start skipping eclipse, which means that my average loot will drop. So all this loot here, we've got a lot of rewards that will drop proportionally quite a lot, but we'll get faster runs with these 2 back to back. Oh my holy moly, we did get a back to back. What? I was joking. Okay, now we just have the blue moon chestplate. These are supposed to be 1 in 40 when you only kill 2 of the bosses. Okay, so now we just have to kill the blue moon and we're done. The good thing about this is I think blue moon is actually the best one to have last, because you end up right here, right outside the chest room after you kill it. So I think that has like the least running around. should be the fastest chest overall, although my chest will be super rare now, 1 in 60. Yeah, and the loot is going to be trash, but I think it's better having Blue Moon as your last one rather than some of the other ones where you have to do a bit more running around. Plus, the weapon I've got is very good for Blue Moon, and it's just the fastest kill overall. And there we go! The greenlog! 161 kills. And let's check what we got. I kind of kept a bit of a loot tab, not exactly, because obviously I had a bit of bone shards, I had a bit of battle staves. Here we go. Here is the eclipse set. This is like the hybrid range melee set. Then we got the blood moon set, which I guess is kind of like bandos. Get a lot of strength bonus, 4 on the helm, 4 on the chest, 2 on the legs. This is all very nice. And I guess the one noticeable difference with this and a lot of other melee sets is you actually get magic defense bonus. So back in the day, people used to use like Carol's top a lot, so this could be a replacement for that. And then the last set is the blue moon set, which is like hybrid magic and melee. And then this is my loot tab. I should say I killed all 3 of them until 117, at which point I started killing 2 of them, and then after 128 I started killing 1. So the last piece where I was basically getting very little loot, that was about 33, the last 33. So I mean, you can see it's very profitable overall. And yeah, I can just show you for an example. If you look at my bank prayer experience, I've got 6 levels worth here. Obviously not all of that is from perilous moons, but a decent amount of that was. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. Obviously I got very lucky. I believe the average for green logging is 200 something, maybe 250, I don't know exactly, but yeah, we got very lucky. So even though I have the bofa, I have the crystal set, and people usually say just don't bother going perilous moons if you have that, or if you're planning to get that. I don't regret doing this at all. I really enjoyed the content. It was quite fun. It was new PVM content as well, and the rewards are very nice, and I will find lots of use with this. So yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Maybe if you're like a super efficient player and you did what I did, you got the bofa, the crystal armor, and then you go directly to harder content like God Wars dungeon and stuff like that, maybe then it won't be that useful. But I think for a majority of players, if you consider the fun aspect, if you consider like the prayer experience, herblore experience, if you consider the huge amount of actual combat achievements that you can get here, there's a ton of combat achievements and none of them are too hard. Overall, I just would recommend it for most players. I'm very happy I did that grind. As for what happens next, maybe I go back to the Royal Titans with some of this hybrid gear. Just finished converting all the super compass from perilous moons into ultra compass, and now 1,200 total uses. Very nice. Oh, this took longer than I thought. Okay, at least we're done now. Let me see how much blessed bone shards I actually have. Oh my god, we have 112k blessed bone shards. I still have these sunky bones actually. 122,000 blessed bone shards. That I don't know if I want to use this yet. It looks so nice. White stack blessed bone shards. Might need to keep growing it. I know I need like 300,000 something for 85 prayer, but yeah, very satisfying. And I've still got all these alks, these battle staves. I still got all the soft clay I need to turn it into house tabs. I still got all these herbs.